Hey Maker, thanks for stopping by Stain Splinter Studio. Today we're going to be making cervical dilation beads. Hey Maker, welcome back to the studio. Today we're making our cervical dilation beads. These are great for, this is one of the ones I've already finished. So our finished product is going to look a lot like this. These are great for labor and delivery nurses. They use it as a tool to sort of help their patients to see how far along they're dilated. It's also a great teaching tool for new nurses who are just learning so that they can get a feel for, how far along new moms are when they come in. So this is a fantastic tool. And I watch a lot of I follow nurses on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. And I have seen a lot of nurses just rave about their beads and how helpful they are when they're working. And so I thought, well, I just need to make some then. So these are a great tool again, and they do love them. And when they're learning, new nurses definitely need something like this to help them along. Don't definitely need it, but can definitely help. So I decided to add them to the shop. So let's get to making it here. We're gonna use 10 beads. So here's some of them. I have white jade. So here's white jade right there. And then we have some purple blue imperial jasper. And what I love about using the natural stones, because if you see, I have a lot, like these are silicone, and these are natural, the rest are all natural stones. And I'm pretty sure from now on, I'm only gonna be using the natural stones just because I just like the look of them better. They're hardier. The silicone's great. It's a little bit lighter, but not significantly lighter that I feel like it's an issue. But I just think these are just prettier. They just look better when they're put together. The shine that they have is just so pretty. And what I love most about these is that they all have their healing powers and their meanings, and so I think that could really resonate with a lot of nurses too. Like for example, I use the white jade, and before I started using them before I even knew this, but one of the properties of white jade is to protect a mom and baby during pregnancy. So that's huge. And it also promotes relaxation. So there's a lot. White jade is apparently like a really good healing stone. There's a lot of meaning behind the white jade and a lot of healing properties there. And then the jasper this particular one, the purple blue imperial jasper, stimulates peace, serenity, and relaxation. And who doesn't need that when they're going through, childbirth? So I just think that's a cool little thing. And when I list these in my Etsy shop, I do list the different stones, and I put the benefits of each stone in there so that they know, because it may matter to someone. It might help, their decision on which design to get, which stones they want to have. It may not all be aesthetic. Even though there are just some really pretty colors that you can get to, look at the variations are just so pretty. So I chose these colors today because we're gonna be matching it to our unicorn. So we're gonna be matching it to her. And so that's why I chose them. And so that's that. So we start, what else do we need? Oh, we need a lobster clasp. I use these really good quality lobster clasps because I want them to be able to, they're going to be taking them on and off their badge reel. I want it to be, number one, easy for them so that they can, do it without having to, really distract them from the patient or, whatever else they're doing. Because I'm sure most nurses, especially, when they're helping new moms, they're multitasking. They have a lot going on. They don't need to be, fiddling with their thing to get their beads off of their badge reel. And I want it to be strong so that it stays, on when it's supposed to stay on, and they don't have issues with it. So for that reason, I use the wire, my beading wire. So I use the 22 gauge beading wire because I just think it's sturdier, it's strong, it's not gonna break. You're not gonna have beads falling on the ground. I never would use the elastic wire on something like this. I would not suggest that. I just don't think that you don't want these, you know, moving around. You want it to sort of stay put. And so that's why I chose this. I cut about 24, a little more than 24 inches. So I took my ruler over here and I doubled it, because I do double up my wire inside, and you'll see that when we start making these here. And that's really, oh, what else? The last thing I use is a little charm. And so I've seen a lot with the baby feet that are not in the circle, where it's just the 2 feet, and those are cute too. I just got these just to do something a little bit different, and I mean, I think they're cute, so I did those. But you can do any kind of, this is just a finisher on the bottom. So you can really do any kind of charm on the bottom. The feet seem to be the most popular one. You know, the baby feet seem to be the most frequently used. But I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff out there that you could probably choose from to add as a finishing touch. So let's get started. Okay, so what we do is we take our wire, and as you can see, it's a really long piece of wire. I fold it in half, like that. And then I'm gonna take, and I put it through the hole, and then I'm going to loop it through and pull it tight to create that little notch there. And then I go one step further and I do tie a little knot. Just again, I really want these to be super secure. And I don't want them moving around. I don't want there to be any issues. And we're gonna be tying a lot of knots because we're coming back up to the top here. So you'll see that. And then for my design, I usually start with 2 of the colored beads, and they fit right. I mean, they just fit beautifully onto this wire. And then I just do a little alternating pattern, because you know, you want to have 10, because these are 10 millimeter, which is also equal to 1 centimeter. So you want them to be 10 centimeters total in length. So these are 10 millimeter beads. You can't use any other size. Like, you have to use the 10 millimeter. Again, they're dilation beads. They are serving a purpose. It's not just for aesthetics. So you don't want to use any other size. 10 millimeter, and they have a ton of different options. I got a lot of mine from AliExpress, a lot of my beads, but there's also a really good selection on Amazon. So you could try that as well. And I have seen reviews from nurses, you know, in other shops and stuff, where they say, hey, you know, these aren't 10 millimeter, you know, these aren't 10 centimeters, so it's not accurate. And, you know, if there's anything you want, you definitely want to, you know, deliver a product as promised and have it be accurate and have it serve the purpose it was intended for. So you certainly want to have the 10 millimeter beads. And again, you're doing 10 of those because each one is 1 centimeter. So I did 2 of the white jade, and now I have, well, I did 2 of the imperial jasper, and then I did 2 white jade, and then 2 more jasper. Now we're going to do 2 more white jade. Carefully, my wire is not even, which is fine. It does make it a little, I have to pay a bit more attention when threading it. Okay, so far we are there. And then 2 more jasper to finish it off. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 beads. Now I am going to tie a knot, even though this knot is not going to help at all with like the keeping the beads sort of in place, because the bead hole is bigger than the knot, so it's not meant for that. It's really, again, just to sort of kind of keep them, just keep my wires, you know, together and sort of help them not be like loose and fall up, you know, to come undone, because I don't want one of my wires to like come out here, you know, so I don't want that to happen. And so that's why I tie it at the end right there so that the wires stay together. And then we take our little feet, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did at the top, where we're gonna sort of loop it through, except this time I'm gonna loop my wire. So I gotta separate it, loop my wire through, pull it taut. Okay, so we have all of our beads on. We've tied one knot, and I'm going to go ahead and tie another knot. I pull it tight, and when I can't pull it tight, I use my pliers. My round nose are really not great for this, but well, there we go. That was gonna be my second to last knot. I was gonna do one more. We're gonna improvise right now. To tie this, so it was going to be 2 more knots, and I got my 2 knots in luckily, but since I went ahead and broke my wire because I was too aggressive, so now we're going to snip off the excess. And what I would have done, let's see, yeah, we're good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just checking my knot. I probably want to tighten that up a little bit. Of course, this never happens, and I'm filming, so it's going to happen today. I'm just kind of squeezing it together because it is a metal wire. It kind of helps it to stay together. And as an extra layer of sort of security, I'm gonna take and wrap this, the one that's still long, around a few times, and then do another knot as best as I can with this little piece here. Because it's so tiny, I'm gonna use my pliers. A good tug. And now I have no, see how it's a really good knot. I don't have any real loose pieces. If I can thread this through this little hole, then I'm gonna do that. And so, as you can see, with my little ending knots here, I'm just trying to really make sure it's not going anywhere. And if I hadn't broken my piece, I would have done an extra knot. I would have come back through the bottom bead and tied my knot in there. and then I would have felt a lot better about it, but because it's out here, I'm a little bit more, I'm just trying to make a few more knots to really make sure it's good to go. But yeah, if I hadn't broken it, I would have come back through this particular, like, it would be like this. I would have gone, now I have all those knots in my way, I would have gone back through this first bead, which it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do now. Not gonna happen for me today. Okay, I really think it's pretty secure. Don't think she's going anywhere. So we're gonna take our scissors and cut as close as we possibly can. And so for that, I'm gonna use my tiny little scissors. Snip that off. And snip that off. Now I don't really want any little pieces sticking out. See how those are kind of sticking out? So I'm going to tuck those in to my bead, because that would have been tucked in if I had not broken my string. It would have been tucked under in there. So I don't want anything that's going to like poke or annoy the nurse while she's like trying to work, you know? And there we go. See, nothing's sticking out, nothing's going anywhere. Totally secure. Not how I would have done it, but still worked out. So sometimes we gotta improvise. So there you go. You saw me improvise. Again, normally I would have threaded the wire back through the bottom hole, and then I would have tied a little knot in there and hid that knot underneath the beads where they join up. So you wouldn't have seen it, so it would have been like sort of right in that space right there. But since my wire broke, I just went ahead and tied extra knots and then hid my knots with the bottom bead. And so there you go. Okay, so there are our cervical dilation beads. Super pretty. I love this purple blue imperial jasper. It kind of has a tie-dye look to it, so I think that's really pretty. And then we just hook them right on to the end of our reel. And that's that. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, if you think that you learned something new, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit that bell notification, you'll be notified whenever I do post a new video, so that you can see what else is going on in the shop, what other new ideas we have. Our next video is going to be about 10 things you can add to your shop if you're in Etsy or any other shop, if you're selling badge reels or doing badge reels, even if you just do like sell them on Facebook or wherever you sell them. 10 things you can add to your shop to that are not badge reels. So something else, you know, little extras sort of to help increase your sales, you know, and also, you know, things that are useful like this, you know, for nurses or teacher things and all different things. So keep an eye out for that one. That one's going to be coming next week. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Definitely please subscribe. I'm trying really hard to, you know, I'm at like 180 people. No, what am I at? Something, I don't know. I'm not at 200 though. And I would love to hit, you know, 200 subscribers by the end of this month. 300 would be amazing. So definitely, please, if you're interested in this kind of content, share it with a friend, you know, subscribe. I'd love to see you again next week. Thanks again for watching. Take care.